Welcome back to Broken Spur Creations. It's Monday morning here in the shop. It's a little warm in here. We got fans going. We got mini split. Trying to keep up with the heat and humidity we got here in Central Texas today. Hey, yesterday was market day. I posted a little video on my Facebook and Instagram. I appreciate you guys sending me the good thoughts and having a good day. And I'll probably upload it with this video. This is just going to be a short video. I just wanted to talk about my market yesterday and, some of the discouragement I had and how quickly it could change. So the market was from 10 to 3. I usually show up about 7:30 because I got a lot of stuff that I set out and I do it by myself. So I set everything out, got rolling about 10, and only had one sale till 12:30. From 10 to 12:30, I just had one sale. And I was starting to feel a little discouraged of why am I spending my Sundays here trying to do this. But then at 12:35, a gentleman walks in with his family. He needs a lot of stuff for a function that he's got going on. I sell him a bunch of stuff that he needed. Made a good contact with him. At the end of the transaction, he was like, hey, my company needs a bunch of laser engraving done on some tags and some other stuff that they had going on. And I was like, I'm your guy. I can do all that. So, we built it up and got a, good relationship going right then and there. And I was like, all right. And with these, sometimes you'll get a lot of guys that'll say this, things like that. So just in case it's not, you treat everybody the same and you talk business with everybody the same and you push yourself, push your brand as much as you can. Well, at 7 o'clock this morning, I ended up getting 5 logos from this gentleman, and we're going to do business. And it'll be a good source for my laser shop, my laser engraving. So I just wanted to tell you, don't get discouraged. Markets are fickle. My last market wasn't that, it was all right. But I do these markets to meet people and to gain, gain contacts and, promote my business. I sell, and it's great. When I make rent, then everything else is just butter. It's great. So with that being said, it was a good day, and I built another relationship. I sold enough stuff. I paid rent for my space. It was a good day. So don't get discouraged. Things may slow down a little bit. Just keep plugging along. Keep honing your craft. Try new products. Remember, in our last video, we did jigs. And with these jigs, I did wallets and flasks. Well, I sold some wallets yesterday. I got some new leather keychains in. I sold some of those. Sold some other new products that I had. One of the other things that I did to kind of, add something to my shop is I took all my boards that I've made and I conditioned them all again. Last market, it was kind of windy out there. I haven't conditioned them since, I put them in there. So it was time to condition them. Take care of your products. A shiny product or a board that's conditioned well and looks really good, it's going to sell more than a scratched up piece of acrylic or a nicked up board that's been in a tote for years. Take care of your product, sell the stuff. If you wouldn't buy it, don't try to sell it. It's scrap, whatever. But anyway, so one of the things that I always talk to you guys about is wood. And so I'm going to give you a little example of, how to get some wood. This right here is a piece of raw teak. Now, I bought this. I didn't buy just this little piece. I bought a 10-foot section of this. And what I did is I split it with my neighbor who runs a CNC shop. And there may be, and I'm sure there's stores like this in every city around. It's like a rehab store. I think it's like a Habitat for Humanity or rehabilitation, something like that kind of store. This was brand new. This was a 27-inch by 10-foot section of teak countertop, brand new, still in the plastic. And they had 10-foot sections of acacia, 10-foot sections of teak, maple, and then they had, I think it was called dragonwood or ironwood, something like that. But anyway, the teak piqued my interest because I know what it's going to look like once I throw oil on it and put a really, really, really cool design on it. So if you remember, I did what was it? It was a big brisket board, and I made a design, and it was called Texas Pit Masters, and it was a design that I made. I put a barbed wire border all the way around it, and it just looked really cool. So my story is, we bought that 10-foot section for $400. It was $500. We got it marked down, just, talking to them. So we split it $200 a piece. We each ended up with 2 big brisket boards and 4 of these size boards. I think they're 15 by 18 for those a piece. Now, out of that, I sold my brisket board. I made the money that I needed to pay for my half. So this is all profit. And this is a good way to do that. You can find deals on wood, and I'm not knocking the guys that produce their own cutting boards, because hats off to you. That's a lot of work, and you guys should be getting paid what you're asking for. But in the realm of things, I can get this. I can sand it down. I can do my artwork on it, and I can make a good dollar on it, and it's still reasonable enough that everyday people can afford it. It's going to be expensive, but it's 2-inch thick teak that, if taken care of, is going to last a while, last many years. So that's one of the hints. Look around for deals on wood. Don't be afraid to buy bulk items like this. If you're comfortable with your artwork and you're comfortable with your markets or wherever you sell it at a good price, make a decent profit on it, but don't try to, I don't know how you put it, don't try to sit there and charge an arm and a leg for something that, 10 cents on the dollar, whatever. So that's my little hint about wood right there. We'll cover more wood on that. But this is just a short video to kind of give you an attaboy, kind of give you some words of encouragement. If it doesn't seem like it's going well or whatever, just hang in there. It'll get better. Now, on the way home from the market, I ended up getting another order. One for that teak board and a bunch of coasters with a cool company logo this gentleman has. Not the gentleman I met, another guy that I actually met at another market last month. So make your contacts. Keep making your contacts. Keep bringing those leads in. Follow up on those leads. I have a notebook that I write everything down in. As soon as I got done talking to this gentleman in Salado from last month or 2 months ago from that market, I wrote his name down, wrote what he was interested in. Sure enough, 2 months later he calls and said, "Hey, I need this stuff." You bet. Shot him a price on everything. Okay, now we got that going for this week. We also ended up selling 4 signs. Well, we got to replenish our stock on signs for the market. And it just keeps going and going and going. And then, like I said, that gentleman that I met at this market, he sent me 5 logos and wants some product done. So there's more. It just keeps building and building and building. So don't get discouraged if you have a slow day or even a slow month. Just keep plugging along because you're worth it. So I'll put that video from the market in there yesterday, and I'll cut this one short. And I know I got a project that I want to do with y'all, and that project I'll put on my Etsy shop, and my Etsy shop is up and running. If you guys have a longer Ray 5 series laser like these over here. I do have this piece right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this piece right here, it holds the cables up out of the way, it holds the air assist up out of the way. That's available in my Etsy shop. So anyway, you guys have a great week, and I will talk to y'all later. Stay creative.